It is a hot girl summer, but that's only if you got a job. Here we go. School is out, summer is in, but for many students, it's time to get back to work. We're talking about summer job opportunities. This summer, real ways to earn some cash, build your resume, and make the most of these months before starting class up over again. Ryla Global Consulting and founder Teveska Kalenska is joining us now with some tips to find the perfect summer job and the fit for your kids. Let's talk about it. Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good, thank you. So good to be here. Good morning to everyone.
Listen, everybody's excited to hear about this, and I know a lot of parents are trying to figure it out. Listen, I have an 18-year-old staying with me, my nephew, and he is trying to find a job. It is extremely challenging. Can you talk about some of the challenges that are facing teens as they're facing the opportunity to get a job this summer?
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, listen, years ago when I was growing up, summers used to be the season of, honestly, lemonade stands and just lifeguard shifts. But in 2025, I think we see such a different season for summer jobs for the American youth. As reported pretty recently, the May statistics from 2025 is that the unemployment rate for the youth of the U.S. is at 9%, which honestly is not terribly bad compared to what it is in Canada, which is basically double percentages and double digits. But the youth seems to be struggling with several kind of like key highlights if we had to package them. I analyze consumers and I analyze what people say on social media. So when I dove into the data of what the youth has said on a social media platform like a Facebook or an Instagram about summer jobs, I found out several very interesting things. And those are that office jobs, which we know years ago, I wouldn't say were the most appealing to the youth, now are actually the most popular option for youth to basically get employed. Yeah, and 5% of everyone who talked on a social media platform out of 100,000 posts that I analyzed said that office job seems to provide the most stability and the best option for the summer. So everyone seems to be recommending find an office job. And that is actually driven by a big trend that we see across the board. And this is also what youth talked about. And that trend is AI in our day-to-day and in our daily lives. And now the interesting thing is that youth seems to be saying that for a basic job that's not an office job, I'm talking your ice cream shop, employers are requiring actually some crazy coding skills and computer skills, which most kids do not have. So that right away puts, of course, a lot of pressure and creates even a more tough and more competitive job market for the youth. Now, the other, if I had to give an advice or if I had to say what I've seen from online data, is that while before there were online platforms where kids could go and apply for summer jobs, that is no longer the case.
Right.
This year, the youth is actually utilizing Reddit as a platform. So out of the 100,000 posts that I analyzed on social media platforms and what kids talk about these days, everyone said, 12% of those kids said that they are applying for a job via Reddit, which is crazy.
That is crazy work. I want to get into that in just a moment. So are you telling me that employers are on Reddit looking for candidates and then the candidates are responding to employers and they're getting a job that way?
So kids are posting their resumes on Reddit, of course, removing any personal identifiable data such as address and phone numbers, I hope. And employers, because a lot of the employers are younger, so they're not Gen Zs, but obviously they're millennials, they utilize Reddit. So there have been quite a few stories that I actually found of kids who have found a job via Reddit. And it seems that it is a trend, not viral just yet, but that is the summer trend of how basically kids are finding jobs this year.
Okay, I want to get to this before we have to go. Let's talk a little about the gig economy. I know a lot of kids are just saying, listen, if I can't find a job, I'm going to create it myself, or I'm going to see if I can do day-to-day work. Can you talk about being a day player in this economy?
Yeah, I'd love to mention several of the basically other gigs that were mentioned. So kids who went on social media and talked about summer gigs mentioned that being a counselor, summer camp counselor, was probably one of the most popular options that was the easiest to find, with over 20% of the posts coming from students who said the easiest way for you to find a job would be basically a summer camp. Other options were on-campus jobs, so staying with your college and finding a gig on campus, and also followed, of course, by restaurant opportunities with 12%. And other interesting one was actually gardening. So in the suburbs in the U.S., it seems like there must be a shortage of gardening options and opportunities. So 7% of all posts actually contain mentions and suggestions for gardening jobs.
Yeah, with days in the 90s and the triple digits, I don't know anybody who wants to be out gardening these days, but I understand why it's available. So thank you so much, Teveska. We appreciate your insight and your knowledge into this new economy that we're all trying to battle with and get our kids some jobs over the summer. Good to see you. Hope to have you back again.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, I'll send it over to you with some
We're gonna have
fun.
some